What really happened to the princes in the tower? This question has baffled historians for centuries. Our story begins in the autumn of 1483, in the heart of London, where two young English princes, Edward V and his younger brother Richard, Duke of York, disappeared without a trace. These royal siblings were not ordinary boys. They were the sons of King Edward IV, born into the turbulent era of the Wars of the Roses. Their disappearance was not a simple case of lost children, but a mystery that has echoed through the ages, a puzzle that has yet to be solved. The last known sighting of the princes was in the Tower of London, a fortress that was both a royal palace and a prison. They were sent there to await Edward's coronation, a day that never came. Instead, they vanished, leaving behind only whispers and speculation. Their absence from the public eye was sudden and unexplained, sparking rumors of foul play. Over the centuries, the fate of the princes in the tower has become one of the most captivating mysteries in English history. Was it an escape, an abduction, or something more sinister? The prevailing theory suggests a grim end for the princes. Murder. Yet with no bodies and no definitive proof, this theory remains just that. A theory. The list of suspects in this royal whodunit is as long as it is illustrious. Many fingers point towards their ambitious uncle, Richard III, who claimed the throne for himself in the wake of the prince's disappearance. Others suggest Henry VII, Henry Stafford, the Duke of Buckingham, or even Lady Margaret Beaufort. Yet without concrete evidence, the truth remains elusive. As we delve deeper into this mystery, we will sift through the facts, the theories, and the legends that have sprung up around the disappearance of the princes in the tower. We'll explore the motives, the means, and the opportunities of the main suspects, and consider the broader political and social context that framed their disappearance. As we dive into the mystery, we'll explore the various theories and suspects involved in this enduring enigma. Over the centuries, many suspects have been named in the disappearance of the princes. The web of intrigue spins around four key figures, each with their own possible motives and varying degrees of evidence supporting their involvement in the prince's fate. First off is their uncle, Richard III. He ascended the throne after the prince's disappearance, leading many to believe he had a hand in their demise. After all, their death would clear his path to the throne. The case against him is further bolstered by the accounts of Sir Thomas More, who claimed James Tyrrell carried out the murders on Richard III's orders. However, the role of Tudor propaganda in shaping perceptions of Richard III's reign complicates this narrative, and the evidence against him is largely circumstantial. Then, we have Henry Stafford, the Duke of Buckingham. He was a pivotal figure in the Wars of the Roses and had his own ambitions for the throne. Some suggest he could have eliminated the princes to further his own cause, but again, concrete evidence is lacking. Next on the list is Henry VII. He had motives to eliminate the princes as they posed a threat to his claim to the throne. However, he ascended to the throne after Richard III's downfall, which raises questions about the timing of the prince's disappearance. Lastly, there's Lady Margaret Beaufort, Henry VII's mother. Known for her ambition and political savvy, she might have orchestrated the prince's demise to pave the way for her son's ascension. Yet, just like the other suspects, the evidence against her is speculative at best. While these suspects remain the most likely culprits, the truth remains elusive. The mystery of the princes in the tower continues to captivate us, reminding us that history is often as much about the questions as it is about the answers. As with any mystery, theories abound about what really happened to the princes. The prevailing theory suggests they were murdered, possibly on the orders of their uncle, Richard III. This theory is backed by accounts from Sir Thomas More, who identified James Tyrrell as the culprit under Richard III's orders. Historian Tim Thornton's research strengthens the credibility of More's account, identifying connections between More and individuals linked to the murders. Yet, it's not just Richard III under suspicion. Other potential culprits include Henry VII and his associates, Henry Stafford, the Duke of Buckingham, and even Lady Margaret Beaufort. The involvement of these figures, particularly Henry VII, is further entangled by the role of Tudor propaganda in shaping perceptions of Richard III's reign, highlighting the complexity of historical narratives surrounding this infamous mystery. But what if the princes were not murdered? Some believe that the boys may have escaped the tower and lived on into adulthood. The Missing Princes project, led by amateur historian Philippa Langley, uncovered information suggesting that one prince, Edward, may have challenged Henry VII's throne in Ireland, while the other, Richard, claimed to be Richard of York and was eventually executed. This evidence challenges the traditional narrative of Richard III's guilt and calls for further research and debate. Then there is the physical evidence, or lack thereof. In 1674, skeletal remains believed to be the princes were discovered in the Tower of London. Yet calls for re-examining these remains have emerged, with DNA evidence available for analysis. Could modern science finally solve this centuries-old mystery? Despite the many theories, no conclusive evidence has been found to confirm their fate. The mystery of the Princes in the Tower remains one of history's most captivating puzzles, a tale of power, betrayal and intrigue that continues to fascinate us to this day. Recent research has challenged the traditional narrative of the prince's fate. A fresh perspective on this age-old mystery comes from the Missing Princes project, a decade-long investigation led by amateur historian Philippa Langley. This ambitious endeavor involved a team of over 300 people and utilized modern investigative techniques to pore over historical documents from various sources. Langley's research suggests a startling possibility, that the princes may not have been murdered after all, but rather exiled and lived on under different identities. This theory contradicts the widely held belief that the princes were murdered to pave the way for their uncle, Richard III, to claim the throne. This new hypothesis, though intriguing, has not been without controversy. Some historians question the authenticity of the documents Langley's team unearthed, while others view it as a potential breakthrough in Tudor history. In addition to this, there have been growing calls to re-examine skeletal remains believed to be those of the princes. With advances in DNA analysis, it is thought that these remains could potentially provide definitive proof of the prince's fate. However, the idea of disturbing these centuries-old remains is a contentious issue, with ethical implications that have yet to be fully addressed. The work of the Missing Princes project, coupled with the potential for DNA analysis, has breathed new life into the investigation of what happened to the princes. The traditional narrative, which has for centuries cast Richard III as the villain, is now being questioned. This doesn't mean Richard III is off the hook, but rather that the field of suspects has broadened, and the story of the prince's fate has become even more complex. These new findings have reignited the debate and called for further research into this centuries-old mystery. As we delve deeper into the enigma of the princes in the tower, we're reminded that history is not always as it seems. The truth often lies somewhere beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. Despite centuries of investigation, the fate of the princes in the tower remains a mystery. This enduring enigma has captivated historians, storytellers, and mystery enthusiasts alike, keeping us on a perpetual quest for the truth. The story of Edward V and his younger brother Richard, Duke of York, is an intricate tapestry of political intrigue, familial betrayal, and power struggles, woven against the tumultuous backdrop of the Wars of the Roses. Remember, the main suspects in this unsolved mystery range from the boy's uncle, Richard III, to Henry VII, Henry Stafford, the Duke of Buckingham, and Lady Margaret Beaufort. Each suspect has their own narrative, motives, and conjectures associated with them, but none have been definitively proven guilty. There's even the tantalizing theory that the young princes might have escaped the Tower of London, living on under different identities. This lack of concrete evidence, coupled with the conflicting theories, is what has kept this mystery alive for over 500 years. The possibility that the boys survived, the evidence suggesting Richard III's innocence, the debate over the authenticity of the alleged remains of the princes, all these elements continue to fuel the intrigue surrounding this historical conundrum. The mystery of the princes in the tower serves as a reminder of the complexity and ambiguity of history. It beckons us to question, to probe, and to challenge the narratives we've been told. It invites us to look beyond the surface, to delve deeper into the labyrinth of the past in search of the elusive truth. The mystery of the princes in the tower continues to captivate us, reminding us that history is often more intriguing than fiction,